Lions fight featherweight fighter Alexander Olave. Alexander is going to be back in action July 28th. 4 Lions fights against Eric Rocha. So let's welcome Alexander to the show here. Alex, what's up,
brother?
What's
going on, guys? Hey, what's going on?
We're good. We're good. Oh, dude, it was a pleasure. Like I said, I normally hit up. Scott normally hits me up. As we're getting closer to the events, I always do a show for him. I mentioned, I was like, listen, we got to, my friend Tammy manages Alex. He's on your upcoming card. Let's get him on. Comes back to me with the list. Your name's not on it. I'm like, all right, man, I gotta get this kid on here because Tammy has been hitting me up for a few months now. He's like, we gotta get this kid on the show. So I made sure it happened. We got it going on here. And I gotta ask you, man. With all the nonsense that's going on in combat sports now, you're one of these guys. You come from the MMA background, but lately you've been concentrating on that Muay Thai aspect. Seeing what's going on with the whole McGregor-Mayweather stuff, do you feel like there's kind of a, when you go from one when you come from MMA and you're going into those single disciplines like a Muay Thai or like a boxing, there's kind of like a target on your back that these guys want to make an example out of you?
I think so. Absolutely. Especially Conor crossing into boxing. The boxing world doesn't think he knows shit, But Conor, if you look at his fights, that left hand is dynamite, man. So, a guy like Floyd Mayweather, yes, he's elusive, but he, like anyone, man, it just takes one. And I think Conor's going to shock the world, man. I think he understands movement. I think he understands movement on another level. So I think we're going to see a world-shocking event happen.
You're going with Conor in this. Wow. One of the first fighters that I've talked to that actually said, no, I'm serious. Like, everyone I've talked to, they're like, oh, dude, this is total disrespect. He's going to be outclassed and stuff like that. And one of the points that I like that somebody brought to my attention was like, listen, yes, southpaws are notoriously difficult to kind of figure out to kind of get in there. And Conor already has a goofy style when it comes to combat sports because he has that open type of karate type stance with it, his hands down and stuff like that, which could be very, very, very costly against a guy like a Floyd Mayweather. But
absolutely, man.
But going back to the point, now you go and look at boxing right now. Who's one of the more devastating left-handed guys they have out there? It's Canelo Alvarez, right? And we already seen that fight.
I'm going to say Lomachenko. I'm going to say Lomachenko. If you look at Lomachenko, his footwork for southpaw is on another level.
We're talking about around the same weight class, too.
Yeah. No, that's Lomachenko's what, 135, 140? About that.
You got me on that one. I haven't been a huge boxing fan since I was a kid, man. It's kind of
Lomachenko. I want you to look this guy up. He's from Ukraine. He's on fire, man. He's going to be the next greatest boxer to go down in history.
Yo, his
now, him and Conor,
ridiculous.
Conor's got no chance there.
Now, my thing is that Conor is a counter striker too against a guy like Floyd. I'm literally preparing myself with some no-dos for that fight because I'm telling you, as much as I love Conor's thing, Floyd is just on another level when it comes to some of these things. Like, yes, he's not the same fighter he was 5 years ago. Yes, Conor is in his prime and all that, and I went back and watched the De La Hoya fight, and that was probably the biggest guy that he beat, the biggest name that I felt that Floyd just did his thing with, and he was a guy, and he took everything that Oscar gave him. I kind of see this fight playing out like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's up in the air. We're not going to know till fight night. We're not going to know till fight night what happened. But all I can say is it's definitely an interesting matchup. I love Conor's antics, and it's going to be fun to watch.
I think it's going to be fun to watch, and me and Cameron were talking about. What I thought was funny was how the fans are basically scoring the press conferences. Like, oh, Conor won
that's
3-1.
so dumb.
Like,
I hate that. I can't believe they're doing that. Oh, Floyd won New York, Conor won London. That's so stupid. How do you win a press conference? Get the fuck
well,
out
that's
of
what we
here.
were saying. Like, if that's what it boils, if that's what MMA has really become now. I mean, guys, get rid of your medical insurance, man, because you just got to win the press conferences now.
Yeah, for reals, right? For reals. If I can make money off of selling tickets from press conferences, Scott Kent, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
I'm just saying, man. Like, the one thing Floyd got right that he was saying, he's like, you know what, dude? He said, your fans can't win this fight for you. And I just thought that was one of the more truest statements that was probably said the entire 4-day span.
Oh, absolutely.
You gotta love the Conor fans, though. They regardless if they're being overly obnoxious or not, they give you something to laugh about. Via social media, whatever. It's
Man,
fun to
I'll
see
say
some of their
this about
responses.
Conor McGregor, though. That guy's got some dedicated fans. You've got people from Ireland flying to the States to watch these fights, man. Just fucking going crazy, pinning their faces, holding the flag. Just, it's crazy, man. Where's that kind of support? Come on.
Well, and that's one of the things that I talk to a lot about a lot of these guys on the regional side of things, man. And it's like, how do you see like MMA fans? They go out and utterly support everything that these big stars do, but then you go and look at some of these local and regional shows where, these are your closest friends, families, and stuff like that. And it's like some of these you don't see these guys like selling out their arenas or anything like that. It's like, wait, we can go and spend go back to my man Joel the other night. It was like you'll spend $100 on this freaking Mayweather McGregor pay-per-view, but I don't see you guys popping out $40-$50 to go to support your local fighters, because half the time that's how you guys get by.
For real. Yeah, no, I would agree with that, man. Where do you draw the line? How do you make yourself that marketable? And that's going out there and performing, man, and hopefully the fans will get with it. But it's a hard line to draw, man. People will drop the money for pay-per-views, and you got to fight, and they don't want to show.
It's nuts, man. Like I say it all the time. It's one of these things, man. It drives me nuts, man. And it's not just like that on local. Like even like when you get some of the regional shows where they're over here in the tri-state area, where you're going to Philly, New Jersey, New York, whatever. You just
right. CFFC. I heard you guys talking
when you
earlier,
see
I'm
these
a
stars, man. Like why is it like why do you want to just watch these guys when they get to the top? Don't you want to be like that? That's the one thing I love about MMA. It's just like you have the absolute opportunity to be there from beginning to end on these amazing adventures these fighters take you on, regardless if it's you, Alexander, Cameron, you too, man. You one day you might eventually make it to the UFC, and you might have that less than a handful of fans that can say, like, dude, I was there at his first amateur fight. I was there at his first loss, his first title win. It's crazy that we could talk about that, and it's a handful of people. Where you look where Conor is now, he's got these legions upon legions, hundreds of thousands of fans following and supporting him. But I really, it makes me really think how many of them were there when he was on welfare assistance, when he wasn't
right.
the notorious.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's one of the things that drives me nuts about fans in MMA is just y'all are more fair weather fans than some of the other major four sports. You know what I mean? It's like you get one guy and then people say that like, oh well, look over Ronda Rousey, all her fans are all but disappeared. I'm like, I don't really think that's necessary. I think they really did love her and want to see her, continue her career undefeated and fly and walk off into the sunset. But I just think that they literally were Ronda fans, and that was it. Is that a problem?
Yeah,
to an extent.
I've always said
that is a problem. But
for sure, I would agree.
But there's always going to be
it's one of those things where
people that are like fans of fighters and people that are like fans of like sport.
It's the culture of the fans too. It's the culture of the fans.
I mean,
it's like
people love to hate,
yourself,
But
how do you just in a sport that is not a team sport in any way except for in the gym? How do you attach yourself to one person and then disappear from it? In my eyes, that's not a fan. That's what I call the zombie.
Yeah, I mean, the fans love to hate, man. The fans love to hate. They follow. The minute you lose, they don't.
They bury you.
They love to hate, man. Exactly.
But when you lose, when you find out who's really in your corner, though, because I mean, we've all been there, had a tough time or a tough loss, and people that you thought had your back didn't. But the people, there's always gonna be those people, the select few people that have
your loyalty lies. You definitely see where the loyalty lies, for sure.
I just think it's one of those things that you guys shouldn't have to be like that. I think you should have the same support that these guys are getting on the big scene, not to the same extent and level where you're having, hundreds of thousands of fans, but just those same people who, 20 to 30 people who would travel to other states to go see you perform for other promotions and whatnot. You don't really see that anymore. It's not. You don't. I don't know if it's just the financial state of what's going on here in the United States, but I don't see the love like you see like go and look. I'm gonna make it. Go look at Philadelphia Eagle fans. When you go see them play in other stadiums, they have entire sections bought off. Like they travel well to support that. If you could support like a sport like football for your home team, why couldn't you do the same for a local fighter? It's just one of the things. It's one of the things that really kind of grinds my gears when it comes to MMA fans. Other than that, they have their moments too that make them awesome.
I mean, I think the fact that you guys are addressing this as a topic, I mean, I think that's a start. You feel me? I think that's a start for sure.
I will always address it. I will always address topics like this. I will call fans out on their crap. I don't care if I lose fans over it. Well, I'm not here.
Hey,
I
gotta say, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the show. You guys are cracking me up over here, man. You cracked me up earlier. I'm a fan.
We try to keep it loose. We try to keep it fun, but also we have our moments where things get serious, man. And this is one of the things, like I said, that just kind of grinds my gears, man. It's just something I don't like seeing. I don't like seeing the fact that you see Sarah Morass putting up a freaking GoFundMe account so she can take this fight with Ashley Evans Smith is sickening.
For real, yeah, I agree.
But but that just tells it, like I said, there's plenty of positive things in the sport, but there's also parts of it where, yes, the sport still needs to grow in this aspect, and it's something that hopefully that all of us can kind of cut.
I think definitely Conor's changing the game. I mean, I think if an MMA fighter, him starting out from welfare, like you're saying, people who follow him from day one, he started out from welfare, and now he's making millions and millions and millions of dollars. It wasn't like that in MMA. And, if you look at baseball in the 1920s, there was definitely a revolution that happened where baseball players were making peanuts. Then some commission came in, and they started having to pay the baseball players for what they're worth. So I think you're going to see some change in MMA.
Like I said, it's one of the things, like, while we're over here criticizing it, yes, this sport is only about 10 to 20 years old. Depending on when you really want to consider it a sport.
It's in its infancy, for sure.
We're
the UFC's been around since the year I was born, so.
But here's the thing: we were just talking about the NFL. They still are making mistakes, and they've been around for almost 100 years. So, does boxing has it all figured out? No, boxing doesn't have it all figured out. But where they got it right is that it's all about the fighter, not about the brand. But that's just me.
I mean, I agree. I would agree with you. I think you're definitely going to start seeing a change in MMA though over the next 20 years. I think there's going to be a definite evolution. I think you see it now with the fighters today. The fighters today definitely are more marketable. than it was perhaps 20 years ago when Hoist Gracie and who was it, James Toney coming out with the one glove.
No, it was Art. What was his name? What was it? Was it Art Jimerson?
I forget, man. I'm clueless.
No, James Toney. James Toney was the one boxer who was brave enough to take an MMA fight. James Toney is a true G in my opinion, because he literally had
James Toney's a
training camp worth of training.
Away from him. James Toney is a dog, man. That's a scary dude.
Oh man! And then people wonder why that Randy went for that ankle pick.
Yeah.
Oh man! But let's get back into Alexander's fight. You got a fight coming up here, the 28th for Lions fights, man. I assume it's gonna be at Foxwoods, right?
Yes,
now,
sir. Foxwoods Casino, July 28th.
Now, one of the things is, what I like Lion fights that they put on a real good both pro and amateur fights, which I think is big, because you don't see a lot of big promotions that kind of give that opportunity for some of these guys who are coming up. And even you, like I said, you came from MMA and then kind of over the last few years or so kind of transitioned to the Muay Thai discipline. What kind of sparked that thing? Is it just your love for the stand up, or is it just you kind of felt that this was your true calling?
It's just one thing led to another, man. As a mixed martial artist, you dabble in this sport, you dabble in that sport. You're kind of, for a while as you're coming up, you're kind of finding what your bread and butter is. I found that I fell in love with striking, and I was like, you know what, let's make a career out of Muay Thai. So once I started, I never looked back, and here we are, man. Lion Fight 37.
Now, with that being said, Lions Fight isn't the only one out there. Obviously, they're the one that's giving you the opportunity and chance right now. But let's say another promotion comes out. It doesn't necessarily have to be an American promotion, but somebody puts an offer out there for you, and it makes sense. Would you ever kind of take that opportunity and leave Lion Fights? Where also you look what Bellator's doing. Bellator has their MMA promotion, but they also have their kickboxing shows as well, where they're kind of trying to appeal to all aspects of it. Is that even though Muay Thai is what you're concentrating on right now, if Bellator ever made you an offer to kind of be able to dabble in a little bit of both, is that something that you would entertain?
For sure. I mean, Lion Fight has been a dream of mine for the longest time, man. Since I started this sport, I was 250 pounds. Got into the sport because I needed to train and lose weight. Now I fight at 145 pounds. It was a dream to fight on Lion Fight. Now I'm here. This is a promotion I want to be in. So I'm gonna chase that world title, man, and then we'll see what happens, man. Maybe I'll cross back over in MMA a lot sooner than later. We'll see, but this is where I want to be for now.
So MMA's not dead. It's just taking a back seat for the time being.
For the time being, man. For the time being, I wanna go out there. I wanna shock the world. I wanna show them who Alexander Olave is, and then once that happens, it's over.
Hey man, it's one of the things I just say when you're an athlete, don't ever limit your options, man. Anything that's out there, take advantage of it. You guys, one of the things that has a big thing is that you guys have a small window to be able to do what you do. We're human.
For sure.
The body has wear and tear on it. It's gonna happen, but don't kind of just cuff yourself off with just one thing. Like even look what much as I dislike the guy, look what Bisping's doing right now. He's like literally, everyone thought he was done after Henderson knocked him out at UFC 100. Has made a late career resurgence. Is the champion now. And, all the stuff he's doing on Fox, he was in the new Triple X movie. I always say, you guys, man, keep feelers out there for anything, both television, movies, even small movies,
Absolutely.
whatever, dude. Any opportunity that comes your way, take it, because you never know what doors are going to open.
For sure. Any opportunity that's presented, absolutely got to hop on it.
I when the Fight Valley movie was in my area, I had both of my girls go and check it out and see if they could have like cameo walk on type stuff. Do it. You don't know if that's eventually something that you'll grow up to act. I want to do that. That's what lit that fire under him. If you have an
never know.
To do something, you don't know. Hey, dude, they just had the bare knuckle boxing tryouts here in Philadelphia yesterday for.
My boy Troy Whitman went out to that.
My
boy Troy Whitman went out to trial for that. Yeah. Super dope.
No, but see, that's what I mean. Like, it's not something normally you would think about, but it's an opportunity to just, hey, go check it out, see what's on. We only have one life to live, man. Don't leave it with any regrets, for real.
For real.
All those guys that went out and did that, I have so much respect for them because there's no way I want to take a bare fist to the dome. I mean, that's. I'm like, you want to have that? That's all you guys, man.
You guys train.
I'm like, I already know, like, in MMA, I'm one punch away from
Cam, he's asking you where you train, bro.
Oh, what do I train at now? I train at Kyoto BJJ out in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania.
So do you do any striking?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do get hit in the dome.
Yeah, just not the bare hand.
Oh, okay.
I've taken a couple shins.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. I've taken some shins to the head, but they were still protected by a shin guard. I'm not ready for that bare bone to the forehead yet.
Oh, yeah.
All right, both of you guys are fighters, and we're talking about taking shots. Now, which one, if you had to eat one that you couldn't block, which one would it be? Would it be a punch, a knee, or a kick that you would just want to eat?
It depends where.
That's the big question.
It's head. You said dome, so we're gonna say head.
Dome. I'm gonna take a punch to the dome versus a knee and a shin bone any day. I think I'd rather take a fist because an elbow's pretty rough. That's solid bone as well as your shin and a knee. Those are all pretty solid. And a knee, yeah.
You might get lucky. They might break their hand on your forehead. Chances are they're not breaking the shin or a knee or an elbow on your forehead.
Yeah, that's ugly, man. They call them the knives of Muay Thai. Elbows are your knives, man. They're slicing. That's you're rearranging someone's face.
Yeah, we just seen Felder sleep Stevie Ray with some elbows tonight.
I've always been a fan of Paul Felder, man. Back in the CFFC days, I've been watching him for years, man. Back before he made UFC, I knew he was going to be in the UFC. I watched him fight Julian Lane live. That first fight, my wrestling coach Johnny Curtis fought that night Birchler for the title and beat him. It was a huge upset, and I knew that night Felder was going to be in the UFC, and here we are years later, man. That kid's on fire. That kid is on fire.
Now, that's the other thing about Paul. It's funny because he just switched training camps. He was training here in the area down at Daniel Gracie's. He was doing a little bit over at Nicatone's. He was over in Albuquerque with Cowboy Cerrone. But now his last two fights he's switched and he's been down there at Rufus Sport, and I think he's starting to put it together, man. He really is putting it all together.
I mean, why not?
That's a good camp.
From this camp, he's taking a piece from this camp, he's taking a piece from this camp, and now he's putting it all together at a place like Rufus Sport. I think it's a smart move.
Well, yeah, like Vitor Belfort was known for that, going to a bunch of different camps, and I feel like that's one of the reasons what made him so dangerous as a fighter is, getting knowledge from all these different places. No one camp or coach will have all the knowledge that you need.
100%. I agree. I mean, I've been all over the world, man. I've been to Thailand. I lived in Thailand. I lived out in New Mexico. I trained at Latrell's. I trained at Jackson's. I trained at this place. Trained at that place. Like, everyone's got a piece to the puzzle that you have yet to see. Everyone's got something to be shown, and there's always something to be learned. So that's what I really, truly enjoy about this sport, is there's always something to learn on any given day.
Cross-training is your best friend as a fighter, without question. I feel like if you can afford it, why not get the chance to learn from someone? Because you never know what you're going to get.
It's big, man. Now, as we're getting ready to wrap things up with Alexander, just before we get into the end of the interview, I know you got this fight coming up. Anything you want, reason why you tell anyone listening in tonight why they should tune in, and how do you see this fight playing out with Eric, man?
I mean, I've watched several fights with Eric. He's a Canadian fighter. I mean, he's got a hell of a kick, but who doesn't in Muay Thai? You know what I'm saying? And the kicks are coming, and I'm just prepared. So for those who are tuning in, you're gonna see something shocking. I don't think anyone's really ready for my style. It's not stand in front of you and bang. It's very movement based fighting, and every which way you move, you're running into something. So I can't wait to show the world, and I can't wait to show you guys, and I really appreciate you having me on the show.
It was definitely a pleasure, definitely a long time coming, and definitely looking forward to having you on again here in the future, man.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing what you're doing, man, and like I said, just don't be closed-minded. Any opportunity comes by, as long as the risk is worth the reward, take it, brother. Take it.
Let's do it, man. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, now, Al, before you go, brother, throw the proverbial microphone over to you. Anyone you would like to thank, trainer partners, teammates, shoot out your social media sites, any sponsors you might have, websites, charities you're working with, time is yours, man. Go ahead.
Thank you for that time. I appreciate that, guys. I would like to say thank you to Title Boxing in Falls Church. They're helping me bring a bus up to the Foxwoods Casino to sell these tickets and have a good time, man. Everyone's gonna have a good time and party. Kaizen Mixed Martial Arts. You guys are helping me piece together the puzzle of everything last minute. Latrell Yee MMA in Albuquerque. Crew Ray Yee. My fans, everyone back home. TAC Sports Management. And my mother and my girl and everyone, man. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate your time.
It's definitely our pleasure having you on, Alexander. Best of skill to you in the upcoming fight, and hopefully you and your opponent can get out of there injury free and have a good one, man.